This one
Sounds good.
is gonna. I I'm reading it right now, and it's difficult actually to think about.
All
What
right.
is the smallest change that would result in the biggest deviation? Real rabbit hole kind of thing there,
I like it.
because you can go really small and it gets ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Oh man. I'm gonna have. There's a few actually.
I can think of one that's interesting.
So there's two sides of this equation. We
Hmm.
need to say something that's very small, a small change, like you are just nudging history
That's
very slightly,
yeah. What is
and you
small?
want a
Yeah.
big snowball because of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what do you consider a small
Um,
change?
okay. I'm gonna go with during the siege of Antioch, the reason why the Crusaders succeeded was because of one Armenian traitor who opened one of the gates of this impregnable wall. Cody, I don't know if you've seen a map of Antioch. You could look it up, or Craig could put it up on the screen.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
The way they use the river and the massive mountain for its natural defense is incredible. But I'm just saying that this Firuz guy doesn't open the door for the Crusaders, and they die right there.
I have a choice too, and
Okay.
I would argue it's small because I'm trying to think of something that's really like not astronomical. Julius Caesar reads the note. He reads the note before going into the freaking Senate.
Oh,
That's
damn,
fun.
that's good.
And I mean, there's arguments that he actually just did and he didn't care. I mean, that's the weird argument that he went to his death, but
Oh, thank you. I'll use that in the counter. Thank you.
Oh, there you go. Fuck.
I would say I'm gonna have to look up my British kings now.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say because I know who. I have the idea. I just have to look up.
What if Henry knew he was shooting blanks?
Yeah, what if Henry knew he was shooting blanks? Is it? I'm thinking it was Harold. I'm thinking it was Harold II was the one. Okay. I'm gonna say, yeah. All right. I'm gonna say Harold Godwinson actually chooses a freaking heir. In 1066, because by him not choosing an heir, it basically led to the Battle of Hastings and then the conquer of the Norman conquest.
Yeah.
So if he had just actually done his job, then the entire history of England would be different.
Huh.
I actually just thought of another one. I'm not going to use it. What if Alexander the Great literally just said, "Hey, you take over," and then died?
that is a much bigger version of that. That's a
that's
a good idea.
I still think they would fight though.
Oh, of course. They were not gonna, they were just gonna be like, "Hey, did anybody hear what he just?" No.
No. I think he said my name.
What did he say?
Who took the ring again? What was the name of the guy who was like supposed to be the? Anyways, is it me who starts or is it you, Georgi?
Yeah, it's you.
Okay. So mine is kind of like a big classical Shakespearean moment, probably made up by Shakespeare, for all we know, where Julius Caesar, he actually reads the note that tells him, "Hey, maybe don't come in today. You're gonna get whacked," like the mob. And he's like, "Oh, well, it would be in my best interest, given all the planning I'm doing to form this like empire with Cleopatra and all this batshit stuff, to not die." So he doesn't go and he doesn't die, and he proceeds to, run the life of dictatorship that he was doing. And my God, it's going to change the entire world. It's going to change the future of the Roman Empire and what it means for the Roman Empire to be an empire, whatever he's constructing with this kingdom of like Egypt and Rome now formed into one. And he has an heir. So he actually has a son, Caesarion. So all the groundwork is there, which leads me to believe that he wasn't just walking off to his death, mind you, because it sounds a bit weird for his character. He did all this, and then all of a sudden, oh yeah, I'm a swell guy, just like Sulla, and I'm just gonna give it all up or whatever. So I'm gonna go ahead and say like it's just that piece of paper that was handed to him in a crowd, and he reads it in time, and he doesn't get killed, and it completely changes Western civilization, which is sad to say, it's another great man situation, but it just keeps happening. Done.
Okay. Should I go second?
I would say, yeah. I'm still trying to
All right.
think. Yeah.
I got a really good counter for you. This involves Hitler.
Shit, okay. I was almost gonna say, what if they let Hitler into that art school in Vienna?
Big change, honestly. Have you seen his stuff?
Terrible. It's garbage.
That's not a
painter.
small nudge. That's not a small nudge. Okay. The story of Antioch is truly remarkable.
So, wow.
With the power of magic and Canadian power outages, we are back.
It's that Rogers internet thing again.
Sorry about that. So let me recharge. A lot of people don't consider the Crusades to be, at the end of the day, that influential, but that can be so far from the truth because they just look at what happened in the Levant. But let's break it down. One Armenian guard who was up on the walls of Antioch, an impregnable city that the Crusaders camped in front of for 9 months, he sent down a rope and betrayed the garrison, but that could have easily been avoided because it actually was avoided several times by Yagisian, the governor of Antioch, who caught and murdered very violently, if I may add, several people who wanted to sell the city out to the Crusaders. Firuz sends down this rope, but let's take that out. What happens? The Crusaders written in retrospect. All of the chronicles are written after the fall of Jerusalem. So number one, this is a story you never hear of. The Crusades become a footnote in history that only massive medieval nerds even know about. All of this manpower, effort, and money stays in France and gets used against other places. Not just France, by the way. We're talking Barbarossa. We're talking Richard the Lionhearted. You're fundamentally changing the dynamic. Also, Pope Urban II and Alexius Komnenos will forever be known as the biggest charlatans who sold the Europeans an idea that got thousands of their princes and most important noblemen killed. This changes the dynamic fundamentally. The Byzantine Empire has to worry about its eastern frontier again. Alexius is seen as more of a failure, and you are changing the dynamic in the Islamic world, East Orthodox world, and Catholic world.
Done.
That's good.
All right. Cody.
Sorry, I know we're not supposed to say it was good. I just love that argument. So,
Thank you.
That's
fine.
But yeah, I guess I was wrong at first. It wasn't Harold. It was Edward the Confessor. He was the one that didn't choose the heir. But basically, so my argument is that Edward the Confessor, by not choosing an heir, pretty much led to the events that led to the Battle of Hastings in 1066, because then it led to William arguing that he was actually next in line to the throne, even though people debate whether Harold was actually, he could have been like deemed the next successor, but like nobody knew it. That we'll never know. But either way, it led to William being able to toss his hat in the ring and then cross over, and it led to the Norman invasions that pretty much transformed England. Like England as we know it did not exist until the Normans came over and really just fundamentally, made it French in that way. But that dominated English history for the next 400 years, pretty much led to the evolution of the English language as we know it, because that had that Norman influence. And then because England went on to do the things that England did, that kind of transformed what we think of as the modern world and the Western world in a sense. So it's like, yeah, it's not as influential as, or it's not as impactful as Julius Caesar being stabbed and Antioch falling, but it's something that I think in our current day more people are influenced by.
All right.
Mm-hmm. So I was seeing you were counting down, and I was getting nervous. I'm like, how do I wrap this up real quick? Oh no.
It's a lot better than one of the systems we came up with where we type on Zoom, like you have 10 seconds and then 5, but no one looks at this, like it doesn't work.
You need to have
You
big
don't know
red
that.
letters. You have to have big red letters that just say 5, 4, 3. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That'd be
not
great.
going to be intimidating at all.
Yeah, no, and it's just like super loud, and it's just like, gotta wrap this up. Yeah.
All right, so I'll do my rebuttal.
All right.
So off the bat, I'm just gonna say right here, I feel bad for both of you. This is like Mike Tyson fighting an infant. The outcome of mine makes or breaks both of your worlds. So you might not exist, you might be different. Like the state of Antioch, like it completely changes the game. As for the English language, it's like, well, is Latin dominant in the world where Caesar does all this? Maybe it's even more dominant. Maybe English doesn't come to be. Maybe occipitan becomes a thing. Who knows? Like, I kind of won this by being the one that's the furthest back, but also it's quite significant. It really changes the states that emerge, changes the empires that are lasting or emerge. I mean, this is really, it's groundbreaking. We're not talking just about like the Eastern Western Roman Empire here. Like it's consolidated maybe in this situation. It's going to lead to all sorts of things. Maybe Christianity doesn't exist. Like this really changes everything. So gonna have to say it's like I feel a little bit bad.
But am I saying that I'm better than you? I guess I'm going a little further than you are. Yeah, I'm fucking better than you, okay? Much better than you. You are garbage.
I'll end it there.
Because you said that, I will try to channel my debating energy and try to speedrun this. Okay.
No pain. No pain. No pain. No pain.
Changing the assassination of Caesar assumes that they would never happen again. It's like saying that one of the assassinations of Hitler didn't happen and that no other assassination would occur. No, everybody hated Hitler and tried to kill him a billion times, and everybody hated Caesar and tried to kill him a billion times. He was naive and he would let that happen. With the Normans, these are one of the most relentless people who try to invade the Balkans 4 times. So you think that they would stop at one invasion of England or not take another opportunity? They went to Sicily, they went to Spain, they went to Italy, they went to the Balkans, they went to Italy, they went absolutely everywhere. You're just delaying the invasion of England a little bit. And also it's a stretch to say that England is not the state as we know it today because of the Normans. It has been unified several different times, and it would be unified again under the Normans for sure. They're super close by. They go as far as Crimea to establish colonies. And again, on Caesar, he was incredibly naive. So many people already hated him because he slept with everybody's wives, and it was just a matter of time before they got their revenge. And it didn't take 15 knives; it would take 1 knife to kill him. And you can't just make such a giant leap and assume that he would never be assassinated. Woo!
God damn. I'm sorry.
You know,
I'm going to put a clip of Ben Shapiro over you that entire time and make it a YouTube short. I'm sorry,
I was going for the memes, and I went.
Oh my god!
You ever play fighting games and it's like you spike someone off the edge and they can't even do anything about it? That's what you just did in debate forum.
Wombo combo. That ain't Falco. That ain't Falco.
Like there was no rebuttal I can ever make. Even like that was you were spitting. You just put like a track over that and just
did you breathe? Did you hold your breath for a minute?
I don't think you did. No,
I'm not sure. I really went for it.
I think you're speaking in Morse code at some points, and it was just.
Was it intelligible? Like, could you hear any of the stuff?
Yeah,
I was saying?
That was intelligible.
I'll put a notice. People put it at 0.25 at this time.
Oh yeah.
There was so much I wanted to say. I wanted to mention Valkyrie as well, but I wasn't gonna, like Craig said, like I'm about to slam dunk on you guys. I'm sorry, and I was like, okay, bring it on.
Oh man.
Right,
I'm not even.
Come on, you got this, Cody. Come on.
I'm not even the mental capacity to like do that. Okay, I'm gonna have to. Anything? Okay. How about? Well, okay, because if we're gonna record this, right? Or this is recorded. I think honestly, our just reactions to that.